So what I want to do tonight is to talk to you a little bit about how I see the world changing. I've got 15 minutes to help your minds jump some rails, to get you on a different path, to get you thinking differently. So a large number of you plan to go out and work in the finance sector. Would that be a fair statement? Okay. What's happened over the last 100 years in our modern society? We went through a period of industrialization, didn't we? Okay. So what did industrialization need to do? It needed to produce stuff. And how you produce stuff was to commoditize what you made, to make it as efficiently and as cheaply as possible. So what did you do with your employees? You commoditized them. You trained them enough to fulfill their job. Okay? You made them cheap and easy to replace. Now, unfortunately, I believe that modern companies, a large number of them, corporates, financial services institutions, professional services firms, legal firms, accounting firms, they come from an industrial age. So what it means is you're a commodity when you go and work for them, potentially. The message that I have to give to you is that there's a change coming, and you have the chance to be a part of that change. You have a chance to be at the forefront to drive it forward. That's my belief and that's my mission. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that today. You see, going back 15 years ago, I started, well in fact it's 16 years ago now, I started my own advice business. And the reason I did was because I worked for 6 months for a corporate giving financial advice. And they wanted to tell me how I could progress in my career, who I had to work for, what I had to do. Now, I went through school doing the same things. You go to this class at this time, you follow this instruction, you pass this exam, you be good, you comply, you follow the rules, and then you're rewarded. And the reason we were taught that was because society had to go through a period of industrialization. It was necessary. But it's not necessary anymore. Today is the age of the social business. And so what I want to do is to talk to you about how you can perform in the age of the social business. You no longer need to be a commodity. You need to think differently. You need to think about why you do what you do, how you connect with your passion. This is what will make the difference for your future and your career. This is what will make the difference to the world. So what I do now, just so you know, I sold my business in 2010. For the last 4 to 5 years, I wasn't advising. I was just focusing on this concept of social advice and social business and what it meant. Now, the funny thing was, 90% of my business growth rate came in that last 4 to 5 years, where I reinvented the message, where I clarified why I was so passionate about being an advisor. And I used digital leverage and social media as the tool to get that message across. My business grew faster during the GFC than it did before the GFC, when all of my colleagues are saying, life is tough, business is tough, we can't find clients. Okay? And the reason for that is because I connected with that message. My vision is that the future means that businesses need to become social. So going back 6 months ago, I started a new business called The Social Advisor. And in a very short space of time, I'm already picking up contracts all around the world from financial services and professional services firms who want to actually create some leverage for their business, but are willing to become what I call social businesses. So a social business is one that connects with their message, that understands why they do what they do, that gives back to the community, that understands that their employees are not commodities, that they are a key component of the future of their business. So the perfect example I'll give you is one you can all relate to, and that's Apple. Okay? You can say many things about Steve Jobs, but he did not create a command and control structure. His employees in fact, they had their asses kicked if they didn't innovate. There was no such thing as not my job. People weren't given exclusive position descriptions and asked just to do that, and nor are they now. So when you go out into the workplace, what you have to do is to decide to engage with why you do what you do and become passionate about it. And if you don't work for a firm that thinks the same way, then you need to change it. You need to take responsibility for what you're doing. And if they won't, well, guess what? It's time to move on. So my vision is that businesses of the future will no longer compete if they think about value extraction. So my message to you is, I was asked originally to speak a little bit about the sovereign debt crisis. So here's what I have to say. The sovereign debt crisis and the GFC was caused by one thing: a philosophy of value extraction, not creation. Money doesn't exist. Money is just an agreement between people. Money is just a concept, an idea. It's not finite. The amount of value that exists in the world is unlimited, but only if you create it, not if you extract it. So the future means that companies that refer to their clients as Muppets, okay, you may have seen some press about this recently, they will no longer be able to compete. And the reason for that is because we're all becoming connected. Clients will know that they're being referred to as Muppets. Do you think that is a long-term sustainable business model? It's not. So we're going through a period of change where it's not about industrial revolution. It's not about commoditizing your workplace, commoditizing your ideas. It's about passion and people. Those businesses that adopt this and bake it into their culture, those people who bake it into how they interact with their fellow colleagues, themselves, their friends, their families, these are the people that will be successful in the future, because your message will be amplified 1,000-fold and people will be able to see it. Social media to me is the spotlight that shines on what you do and what you believe in. And this is how the world is changing. You might not see it yet, but I'm there. I'm living it. I started The Social Advisor to do exactly this, to allow firms that have a real message, that have a real passion, that care about their clients, to outcompete those that don't. We don't need legislation to stop rogue firms. We don't need more restrictions and more legislation, because the future means that those firms won't be able to compete, and that's how I see change coming. So it's an exciting time, because the possibilities for you guys are this. You get to understand why you do what you do. You get to integrate it into your career. You get to be passionate about what you do. And more firms are going to be looking for you. More and more firms are going to realize that they need linchpins within their business, not commodities. So my advice to you is focus on that. Okay? If you'd like to understand a little bit more about that, read a book by Seth Godin called Linchpin. In fact, I now make it a requirement for all new team members coming on board to read Linchpin. I don't want people who can't think for themselves. If you need to be told what to do, don't come and work for The Social Advisor. That's how companies of the future will think. Apple's led the way in some ways, and so are many other firms. Those advice firms that are adopting this are reaping significant benefits. But the thing I'll say to you is, financial services and professional services are the slowest to adapt. They're the ones falling behind in the marketplace. They're not innovating. They're trying to protect the status quo. Don't let that happen. Thank you.